Welcome to the Matt Show. Today I'm filming and interviewing Randy. Randy, he can be a little bit boring. He goes by himself and he doesn't say very interesting things. So I'm a totally awesome editor. So I'm going to edit it and make it really interesting. So welcome.
You're watching the Matt Show.
That intro is totally awesome.
All right, it's Randy back here again. My brother Jake sent me up this here recording of my sister Darlene talking to me, so I thought I'll play it, and he asked me to listen to it, which I will. So let me hear what my sister Darlene has to say. Sometimes I think I've already heard enough, but hey, she's my sister. I don't know. Oh yeah, the little triangle thing. Yeah, here we go.
He's complaining about always having to cut all the wood and things like that.
Complaining about always cutting the wood. All right, let me explain this. All right, my sister Darlene is an absolute dear, but she lives in the city now. All right, and folks who live in the city have a completely different perspective of life. First of all, when you live in the city, it is an illusionary, artificial life. You live in this, like, I don't know, it's like a box made out of a bunch of phony materials, plastics, and who knows what. I live in a log cabin that was hewn by myself from the trees around me. And secondly, they lose perspective. Okay, city folk, if they're cold, they just go and push a little button and blah, I'm nice and warm. But folks like me that live in the wilderness, if we don't have enough wood in the winter, we die. All right, we die. We die. We die. We die. All right, we die. All right, we die. If we don't preserve enough food for us in the winter, we die. I'm not saying death is such a bad thing. That's the other thing. City folks lose contact with what death is about. I see death every year, all the time. I see birds die, like my raven that, like trees, they die, and fish, they die so they can nourish your body. We die eventually. So city folks just lose that perspective. Nothing bad about my sister. I mean, if you put me in the city, I would lose my perspective too, but no. I live out in the world. No television, no artificial nothing. And I live in the world. I live in the reality and the grandness of it. I'm sorry, I'm starting to sound a little bit too preachy. Anyway, I guess all folks have their own paths. I'm not faulting people who live in the city. All I'm saying is when you live in the city, you have a little different perspective. And speaking of getting food ready, winter's coming. I got my firewood split, but the blackberries, I harvested a bunch of blackberries. I don't have a freezer up here I can put them in, or a refrigerator. So I have to take them out and dry them out in the last of the sun of the fall. Sprinkle a little bit of sulfur on them to keep the flies and maggots from laying eggs and creating maggots on them. And then when I dry those blackberries in the sun, they'll last me around till February, March, April maybe, until the mold starts setting in. And, I need to get to that, all right? I don't have time for these foolish, waste-of-time TV shows, because if I don't get my blackberries preserved, I die. That's the reality. Okay, I've said enough. I've worked up an appetite yammering on here. I think I'll go eat some blackberries, and I got some fish cooking up. Sorry, Matt, I think I'm done filming. You can go back to your town and give whatever you got here. And all right, bye.
Hey, Randy, how about a little dancing before you go?
All right.
You have been watching the Mad Show.
It's totally awesome.